What's going on, movie fans? I'm outside the theater right now to see the newest horror flick called The Shrouds. I don't know a ton about this movie, but I do know that it's directed by David Cronenberg, who of course gave us The Fly, so I'm hoping for a bit of body horror in this one. The movie is also maybe a bit of a revenge flick, because this guy creates this technology where you can watch your loved ones after they've passed away, like you can watch the shrouds, and then somebody breaks into those caskets and somebody wants revenge. So there's a lot of different angles in this movie, at least from the trailer. That's why I don't really know what's going on. I'm not mad at that though. I'm hoping for a good time at the movie theater. Maybe this movie will surprise me. I'll let you guys know what I think about The Shrouds when I get out of the theater. And so guys, I have seen The Shrouds. This was one of the more miserable experiences with a movie I've had this year. To elaborate on that, I mean that this is a very slow going movie, and it never really gets to the point. The movie's listed as a sci-fi horror film, and I think it's listed as horror graciously because David Cronenberg is behind it. The sci-fi aspect, absolutely. You know, they deal with a lot of futuristic tech, a lot of AI. They also deal with this thing called grave tech, which is where you can wrap the body of your loved one in these shrouds, and then you can watch them decompose. The main theme of this movie is how people deal with grief after their loved ones have passed away, and it kind of gives you a futuristic look at how we could sort of stay connected with them, watching them decompose. If that was the theme that they really sunk their teeth into, then maybe I would have enjoyed this a little more. But on top of it just being a very slow-paced, it's just increasingly slower and slower paced film as you go along, it never really latches on to that central theme. It tries to throw in a bunch of other stuff. Mystery, it throws in the idea of, you know, are your loved ones always faithful to you? His brother-in-law married the sister of his wife, and so he's got a lot of wondering if the main character maybe slept with his wife at one point. And so it has all these different themes, and it never really latches on to any of them. And so it just makes the whole film feel hollow. And just the way they end it, it just sort of ends. Like there's no like conclusion to any of these plot points or these storylines that they've thrown at you. And then on top of all those things that I didn't like, the writing in this movie is pretty terrible. I don't recommend you check out The Shrouds. If you do, just be prepared to walk out kind of feeling like I do. Like I went in hopeful and I came out very low energy. I didn't like this one. I can't recommend it.
That is one big pile of shit.